Hello everyone, I hope you're all having a great day so far. My name is Jurassic KM and welcome to today's video. Before we get into things today, I just want to take a real quick moment and say that getting tonsillitis for the first time in your life at 39 years old really sucks. With that out of the way, we are going to be covering the Gallimimus herd from the original Jurassic Park film. Going through the scene again at 25% playback speed, I was able to pick out 4 different variants of the Gallimimus. We are going to go through each variant one by one, and the timestamps for each respective variant will be in the description below. So let's get to it. Prime the figure and then give it 2 coats of our 2-to-1 tan base coat. Then what you want to do is you want to do a 1-to-5 wash of antique white for the underbelly, the back of the legs from the knees down, and then the front of the legs from the shins down, as well as the interior of the forelimbs and the exterior of the forelimbs from the elbows to the fingertips. Once that wash is dried, you want to do a 1-to-1 of cinnamon brown and burnt umber. Mix that 1-to-1 with water, and then we're going to paint the dark patterns and stripes along the overbelly. Then you want to do slate straight out of the cap for the claws. Then once the slate dries, you want to do a 1-to-20 wash of cinnamon brown on the entire figure. Once that wash dries, you want to do a 1-to-1 mix of tan and golden brown, and you want to dry brush between the stripes on the overbelly. Then you do a 1-to-1 mix of antique white and Amish gray, and then you want to dry brush that on the underbelly. Since this particular Gallimimus figure has an articulated jaw, we're going to keep it simple. We're going to do blush pink for the mouth interior, and then cherry blossom pink for the tongue. Since this is meant to be a Jurassic Park Gallimimus, I will not be painting the teeth. When I eventually cover the Jurassic World Gallimimus, if it has an articulated jaw, I'll paint the teeth. Then we're going to do golden brown for the eyeballs, then black for the pupils and nostrils. Then we're going to clear coat and then add nail polish to the eyes, nostrils, mouth, and claws. And we're going to move on to variant 2. So with variant 2, again, you want to prime and then give it 2 coats of our 2-to-1 tan base coat. Then we're going to do a 1-to-5 of antique white for the underbelly, the back of the leg starting at the knee, the front of the leg starting from the shins down, the interior of the forelimbs, and then the elbows to the fingertips. You want to mix a 3-to-2-to-1 of tan, antique white, and golden brown. Mix that 1-to-1 with water and paint the overbelly. You want to do a 2-to-1 mix of tan and cinnamon brown, mix that one to water as well, and then paint the dark pattern on the neck and the tail. For this next step, you want to add tan for the stripes on the spine and the tail. Once that is done, you want to do a 1-to-20 mix of cinnamon brown on the entire figure, just like last time. And then again, just like last time, you want to do golden brown for the eyeballs, black for the nostrils and pupils, then clear coat, and then nail polish for the eyes, nostrils, and claws. And let's move on to variant 3. So variant 3 is the more juvenile Gallimimus that has spots and stripes that kind of remind me of a fawn. So we're going to prime the figure, give it 2 coats of our 2-to-1 tan base coat, and then once again we're doing the 1-to-5 antique white for the underbelly, the back of the legs from the knees down, and then the front of the legs from the shins down. We are not touching the arms this time. Next, you want to do a 3-to-2-to-1 mix of golden brown, antique white, and tan, and then mix that 1-to-1 with water for the overbelly. You want to do a 2-to-1 mix of antique white for the white spots throughout the overbelly. Once all that paint has dried, you want to do a 1-to-20 of cinnamon brown wash on the entire figure. Once that particular wash has dried, you want to dry brush antique white on the entire figure. And then once again, we do golden brown for the eyeballs, slate for the claws, black for the pupils and nostrils, and then we clear coat and we add our nail polish for the eyes, nostrils, and claws, and we move on to the 4th and final variant. Now, this final variant actually surprised me because this is the closest that this one gets to the original Crash McCreary and John Rosengrant concept art, except that instead of having the blue patch on its back, it's actually more of a blood red. So prime and then give it 2 coats of our 2-to-1 tan base coat. Then once again, we're doing a 1-to-5 of antique white for the underbelly, the interior of the arms, the elbows to the fingertips on the exterior, the back of the legs from the knee down, and the front of the legs from the shin down. We're going to do a 1-to-1 of deep red and burnt umber, mix that 1-to-1 with water, and we're going to paint the dark pattern at the base of the neck. We're going to do a 1-to-3 wash of burnt umber from the back of the skull to the base of the neck. And then once again, we are going to use tan straight out of the cap for the stripes on the red. We are going to add a 1-to-20 of cinnamon brown wash on the entire figure. Once we're going to do a 1-to-1 of antique white and Amish gray, dry brush the underbelly. We do a 1-to-1 mix of tan and golden brown, and we dry brush the overbelly, but not the red patch. We're then going to dry brush burnt umber on the end of the tail. And then again, much like last time, golden brown for the eyeballs, slate for the claws, black for the pupils and nostrils. And once all the paint is done, we are going to add the clear coat. And then once that's dried, we add the nail polish for the eyes, nostrils, and claws. And we are going to call these Gallimimus done. So this is my take on the Gallimimus herd from the original Jurassic Park film. These ones were not as time consuming as I was afraid they were going to be. And overall, I like how they turned out, and I look forward to painting more Gallimimus figures in the future. Folks, if you've made it this far into the video, I do want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch it. If you like what you see, be sure to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for any future notifications, and share this video around. And until next time, this is Jurassic KM, signing off.